Calling all beings. Calling all beings.
Wait a minute. Can I get a hit? Man.
Amen.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Calling All Beings. I'm your host, DJ.
And I'm Boston Bea.
And give me an amen for that right there. A star up in this joint. What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man. Doing, trying to do my thing, trying to recover, trying to, get back healthy so that people don't lose. Well, look at that invalid got to ice his damn knee, man. Get out of here. What's wrong with you? So I'm trying to get. Trying to get healthy for that. And man, a lot going on with the Karen retrial. And I know you got all of it. You got all of it, right?
All of it, yes.
Like gravy on rice. Let's see. We got to say hello to a couple people that are in the joint. There you go. It's Jerry Harris. Hello, Jerry Harris. Welcome back, love. Heather Hunt. Hey, y'all. What's up? Alabama. Whoa, Nelly. There she is right there. Roll damn Tide. So I don't know. I don't know. Heather, please type to us if you are an Alabama fan or if you are an Auburn fan, because I guess I should have clarified. Debbie Blair is here. The cat lady is here. Armad, who've been doing damn things. And of course, one of she's becoming like an original gangster now, Miss Jessica and Beezy in the Heezy.
Yes.
Welcome back to Calling All Beings. Roll Tide. There you go. Just got Roll Tide. Alabama Roll Tide. Heather Honey from Alabama. In her, let's see. Please type, if you would, the name of your show. It's Facts, Opinions. Please give me the full name of your podcast in the chat, please. Heather. Heather also is a true crime podcaster, justice warrior, retired teacher, badass lady, dedicated to Karen Reed. Shall I continue?
Yeah, she was just with us a couple weeks ago.
That's right. Yeah, she said it's been a month and she feels like it's been longer. Yeah. Awesome lady. And so what we wanted to do a call-in show tonight. In it, and this is in advance. This is not like the Nan Gallagher call-in show that's coming up. This is the call-in show that we're doing just to talk about the case. And so Bea's going to get us started off talking about the case. And because, she's, hey, hello, Colleen. How are you? Welcome. Okay, real quick before we get Bea in there, it's facts, opinions, and real talk. So don't play no games. Okay. And we have a C-Star here. Hello, C-Star. You're probably rescuing people at Nazarene in Portugal with your jet ski. That is how you become a C-Star over there. These surfers that are caught in this 100-foot wave. So anyway, with that, take it away, Bea. And when you want to call whomever you are out there, it is 719-602-4464. The pleasure is ours. It's an honor to know you, Heather. And she's saying, I spent R&R from Afghanistan in Tuscaloosa and went to an Alabama game, got to meet Nick Saban. Oh my God. That would be pretty awesome. Wow. So anyway, go ahead. Look who's here. Positive Pathways.
Hey.
Amy.
Hi, Amy.
We love some Positive Pathways. So yeah, go ahead, Bea, take it away, and people feel free to call in. Anybody who wants to. Go ahead.
Well, it's been an interesting week, as we know. Oh, hey, Boston Brandy.
Boston Brandy! She's got a mic muted.
And she's not visible.
You got to unmute your mic, love, but I can't do it for you. You've got to do it yourself. Because if you're muted, I can't unmute you. False alarm. Oh.
False alarm.
That is awesome. Okay. Okay, I don't know. Go ahead, Bea.
So does that mean she wants you to kick her out and she'll come back in?
She can just remove herself. Like, I don't.
Well, she said false alarm, so
Yeah, I mean, yeah. See, she removed herself. Yeah.
there you go.
Okay.
Okay. So as we know, it's been a busy week with in the Karen Reed trial. The defense got started. We're on day 27. Now there's no court tomorrow because it's going to be warm up in here, so we can't have court and the fans all at the same time. So that means that we'll be back in session for day 28 on Friday. And Karen Reed said this afternoon that they expect to be wrapped up around Tuesday the 10th. So that's where we're at. Today we had Lucky Loughran testify. This is the most honest man. I thought he did a lot better this time. And not that he did bad last time. It's just he was definitely... Hank was trying to throw in digs as he's asking questions, and he definitely did a great job at clarifying some of the stuff. So I thought he did really, they're thinking around next Tuesday, the 10th, they should be wrapping up. And they're ahead of schedule, which is why she said no court tomorrow since it's going to be like 100 degrees. So,
yeah, I mean, they've never done, I don't know if you know this, Bea, they've never had court proceedings in countries that are exceedingly warm where they don't have air conditioning. I don't know if you know
what
that.
happens in Florida?
Yeah, I mean, in India, in Florida, they have air conditioning, but I mean, I'm talking, you mentioned the DR earlier, India, there's places where they have court, Brazil, there's places where they have court, Cuba, there's places where they have court where, believe it or not, they don't have air conditioning and somehow a legal proceeding is able to unfold. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
Perish the thought.
Right. Yep. No court on Thursday making changes. She announced that.
No court.
No court. So with that said, also, so Lucky did a great job. I thought he Hank really tried to, trip him up, but I thought he held his own. So I thought he did a great job. And then we had Karina Kolakithis, who was just telling her side of the story, what she witnessed. She mentioned that John kissed Karen on the forehead, that they were very loving. And she was, up until the time they left, she spent most of the whole time talking to Karen. They were facing each other over by one of the high bar tops. So yeah, I mean, and then of course it was a half day, as she likes to call them.
Half day, yeah, the fake British sort of Kennedy-esque Hyannisport accent, yeah.
Yep.
We're only having a half day caught today. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're only having a half day, if you know what I'm talking about, yeah. Only a half day, yeah, because we have to go out to the Cape. I've got my sailboat. Yeah,
right.
Sorry.
And what really stands out, if you notice the difference between the people that are just up on the stand, just trying to tell the truth, is there's no combativeness. There's no, having to, they just answer the questions that they're being asked. They're not trying to say you said my name wrong or, it's unbelievable the difference between some of these people that are trying to cover up or not tell the truth. It's like it's so much harder to not tell the truth, and it shows.
Yeah.
So
you don't have to have a good memory if you tell the truth, but to be a liar, you got to remember all these details.
Right. And
and in love from Minnesota.
Yes.
Sorry.
Hi, Minnesota.
Minnesota.
And yesterday we had the amazing Officer Barrows, who, last trial, again, he did a great job. He said he observed tail light cracked, but not completely cracked, but not completely like gone. This time he was showing a picture. I think last time they must have felt either that they didn't think to show him the picture and say, is this what it looked like? But yesterday they did, and he said absolutely not, it did not look like that on January 29th. He actually and the crazy thing is that Hank had the nerve to ask him if he took pictures when
He's
was
not
an
the investigating officer.
investigator. Like, how is this even, like, are you kidding me? You're going to sit there and an officer who was just called to, to get the tow truck because they were coming into his jurisdiction. And Hank had the nerve to ask, did you take a picture when nothing has been properly documented or photographed the whole case, and you're going to ask Officer Barrows, who had nothing to do with this. So I thought that was crazy. But again, he did a great job at highlighting that it didn't look like that. It wasn't completely smashed out. So I thought that was great for the defense. And even on cross, he was he told the truth. They kept trying to trip him up. And the thing that stinks is that, because I think he also mentioned this case is in the media. He's seen a lot of this case, a lot of pictures and video of this case. He doesn't recall that they didn't actually show him the picture. And Hank is trying to reference how when you looked at the picture last year, and he didn't, it was not shown in court. So I think he kind of got tripped up. So that kind of stinks, but everything he testified last year, he testified this year, except he added the fact that it didn't look like that, which just goes to show you Karen Read was framed. If there was any doubt whatsoever at this point, after what we've seen through the first trial and what we've seen up to this point, that she was framed, she was. There's just no way. This guy has no skin in the game and has no reason to lie.
100%. Let's welcome in the official attorney of Calling All Beings, Valhalla Law. And if you would like to speak with myself and Bea, get on this cab call-in show. It is you can say the numbers. Good. Do your broadcaster voice. Go ahead.
Sure. You can
we already got somebody.
Ooh.
Let me see if this is. Oh, this is spam though, so I don't know if I should answer this one.
Well, this is Cab, the much unknown.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
If you just called in and you're an 845 area code type, just let me know in the chat that it was you, because it said spam on the thing, and that's why I didn't answer. And it wasn't on Google Voice. So go ahead. Yeah, go with the call-in numbers. Go ahead.
All right, you can call 719-602-4464.
They're ready for television right there, man. Inside Edition.
That was my customer service voice.
Yes. Oh, no. There's one customer service voice I've heard you do that we need not do on air, but it was awesome. All right, so there we go. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and answer.
Call from
Bill.
To accept.
Bill, can you hear me? Let's see.
Hey, how are you?
How are you, Bill? You're live on the air with Calling All Beings.
Hi, Bill.
Oh, hi.
What you got for us, man?
Oh, well, before I get into it, what kind of piano was that? I think I have the same one.
Oh, no, it's just a virtual background. Sorry to disappoint.
A what?
So virtual background?
StreamYard has some stock backgrounds. If you don't want to show what your living room or your office or your bedroom looks like, you can use a virtual background. So it's virtual.
Do you even play piano?
Nope.
Right.
Oh,
did you call to talk about Karen Read?
I mean, is your room?
I'm assuming.
Well, I mean, what's the matter? Is your room messy or something?
No, it's not messy. Um,
Don't let go of
Well,
that one. All right. I hung up on him because I don't know. I don't know who that is.
this might have
So
been
it's just
going down a weird
yeah, that could
hallway.
have been gone. Yeah, that could have gone wrong real quick. So we let that one go. All right. Yeah. So if you want to call in and talk at least
719-602-4464.
yes, and speak tangentially about Karen Reed at least. All right,
Please.
hold on. Let me get this going here. Here we go.
Yes. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Boston Brandy.
Hi.
We got applause for you, Brandy.
How was
get
your trip?
applause.
Was it good? I'm so glad you're
Good.
home.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, good.
It was awesome.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, and my tack broke.
This is live on air, folks. There's no taping going on here. What
Okay.
you're saying is really
good.
happening. So
Good. My daughters take over my house, so I gotta find like a spot to go.
A
as
corner.
well they should. So so we're doing a call-in show. So if you want to call in, you want to talk to Brandy and Bea, it is well, go ahead.
What time?
Go ahead, Bea. Say it.
Oh,
719.
719-602-4464.
There you go. All right. Can I get an amen? Go ahead. You got, so we were talking about the trial. So were you live in attendance outside the courthouse this week, Brandy?
Yeah, I've been there. It's been pretty good. We've had a lot of people come down there recently. The good weather's bringing out more people, and it's good because it's nice to meet a bunch of people. We met more people from United Kingdom, I think it was.
Did you meet
Really?
my friends from
Yeah.
Utah?
In
that were at-
Utah.
Yes, yes. Tanya.
Texas.
Yes.
Bill Ricca.
Nice.
But yeah, I like seeing the different, like, just where everybody's coming out of the woodwork from. You know what I mean? It's nice. It's nice meeting people, you know, and it's nice that we're all like fighting for the same thing, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank God. I sent a message to Erica Walsh of, congratulations that some judge dismissed this absurdity that they try to charge her with. They just wanted, hey, look who's here. Oh, wait. Well, we've already talked to this legend. We're talking about that legend right there, Dennis
Oh.
Sweeney.
Hey, handsome.
How's it going, Dennis? And the other legend, of course, is from Alabama. So yeah, what were your impressions this week? Maybe you two could kick around like some of your impressions. Maybe you want to ask Brandy a couple of things about her thoughts about different things that you viewed this week.
I mean, the cops are still being bullies a little bit, but I felt bad yesterday. They were kind of, I don't know. I feel like, I don't know if they just see Erica as like, one of the ringleaders or whatnot, or one of the bosses to maybe get the point across, whatever point they're trying to make. But I can see it from like, and I know it's not really an outsider seeing it because I'm down there all the time, but just yesterday, I do see where they kind of, I don't really want to say target her, but they do kind of flock to her more, and somebody had like a cowbell or a harmonica or something, and they went right over to Erica saying, get rid of the cowbell, and like kind of picking on her. And it kind of bothers me. And she's already, and she was already having like a moment, like, because it's different when you're in person right beside the guy with a gun on his belt, you know what I mean? And if they're being like, I say all the time, record everything, but that one moment he started screaming at me, I shut my camera right off. It's just when you're in the moment, you try to do what you're told, and it's scary, it's intimidating, you know what I mean? And it's like
they're using that. They're using that to deprive you of your rights.
They're trying to intimidate us, so we do get scared and we don't come back and we don't speak up. Right. And it works for a lot of people. A lot of people won't come down there because of it. Because you know what? Accidents happen. People have bad days, and you don't know if that cop's going to have a bad day. You don't know what's going on in the back of his head. So it is scary, and it can be dangerous. We try to not make it dangerous, but I mean, it's sad when you see them picking on someone. Not really picking on, but like, it's just like, you don't have to go over there. Like today, they told Scott McGinnis, get your foot off the step. And they told, like, get your foot off the step? Really? Really? Who is that bothering? Who is that bothering? We're all out there sweating, just waiting, just trying to be nice and peaceful and just support justice and truth. Like, who is against truth? If you're against truth and you're against people out there standing up for truth, what does that say about you? What does that say about your character? You know what I mean? I don't know. It just bothers me. And it's like we all have better things to do with our time. I do like maybe 3 hours a day if I can. And there's a lot of other things. A lot of people are like neglecting other things right now because it's such an important thing. And we
Right.
all have kids and families, or, everyone is part of the system, whether you like it or not. Your name is in the system. So you're part of the system, and it will happen to you if it hasn't yet. You know what I mean? Something negative will happen if we don't stop this now. Like, this is awful. It's really awful. And we try to make it as fun and as happy and as like friendly as we can. But at the same time, enough is enough. And we're sick of putting up with it. We shouldn't have to. We're all adults. I don't care what badge you wear, what title you wear, how many days a week you went to school or work, because we're all important. And this isn't about like Chick-fil-A sandwiches or clearances or anything like that. This is about human life. This is about us, our children, our safety, our freedom, our words, and our everyday breath that we take. And I'm really getting sick of it. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to come on and go on a rant, but you just asked about the buffer zone, and it's been good. It's been good. But, us people that are down there every day, we do have we have bad days, we try not to, but it doesn't help when other adults are just giving us a hard time for no good reason. No good reason,
Yeah, and
So
I
have they
actually,
calmed down? Like
They,
since the
it
kinda
was
backed
never
off?
really the denim cops before. We always thought the denim cops were so nice, and just the couple cops yesterday just being bullies. And it's just like, I don't know if it's the Mass
MSP?
State Police that are giving them a hard time, but I don't know. It's weird. It's like they're bipolar. One day they're buying us donuts, the next day they're screaming at us to get out of here, or the cops are getting thrown on you. So it's like it's a hard, it's a weird, I don't know.
Unpredictable, it
Yeah,
sounds
it
like.
is, and it just sucks living like that, because you never know, and it's.
C Star. So tell us where you're coming. Are you from Mass? But where are you coming from? And well, you know who Brandy is, so you're going to be able to find her down there tomorrow. But yeah, she's going to be there next 3 days. Actually, I was asking you what you thought about the trial, but the fact that you went on the rant is great because that's something that you're passionate about. That is at the forefront of your mind, and so I'm here for it.
I'm just scared. I'm just scared for the future. I'm scared for my kids. We're not all going to be here forever, and you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. You don't,
But these are dishonest dudes, and what they're doing is they are using. So what they did to Erica, they said, look, you can be doing nothing but just wearing something that we don't like, and we'll arrest you. And so we'll know, okay, well, she's going to be, no honest judge is going to do anything with that. And they didn't, right? They dismissed it, right? But they know they can just hassle you. They can go and detain you. They can cite you, and they can give you a court date. And so that's what they're using. That's part of the intimidation tactics. But most certainly you can leave your phone. Here you go. And this is bullies use random negative feedback because it's the most intimidating and disorienting. Absolutely. You can most certainly leave your phone recording and just back away from the person a little bit and just keep recording. And just say, God, keep talking, But
it's like they did that, even though they dismissed the charges against Erica. It's like she still had to get arrested. She still was filmed. It's still all over the world.
They hassled her.
Being recorded. And
They
of
know
all of the people in this whole Karen Reed, everything, the perjury, the murder, all of these allegations, the one arrest that came from this was because someone was wearing their opinion on a piece of clothing. Like, she's like the one arrest that came out of this. Like, if this is it, if that's the only arrest that comes after this, that is a way bigger issue than we think we have right now. Because if nothing happens after this, if the world is really watching this go down and nothing happens after next week, that should make everyone fear to even leave their house. Seriously.
And it was not Karen Reed related, so it didn't violate the buffer zone.
Yeah.
So.
It's just her opinion too.
They were able to do it.
Right. It's just the fact that they can. Right. They can.
So D Johns here is flying into Logan next week. FKR and RIP Officer John O'Keefe. So I guess you're going to see D Johns there, and you're going to see C Star there. And by the way, if you would like to call in and talk about the case or the situation outside the courthouse,
you can call 719-602-4464.
Let me finish.
I thought you were about to ask me to give the number, so I figured
she's going to with the headset. Call now.
Hold, please.
If you'd like If you'd like to speak with Boston Bea and Boston Brandy,
Oh man.
that was me.
I'm just kidding. Please call 719-602-4464.
That's what's up. Right
Operators
there.
are standing by. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like the Jerry Lewis telethon from when we were kids. That is hilarious. All right, so yeah, they got lots of love for
The
you. And I
child's
think
good though. Lucky is amazing. I don't know. I was like, I want to start like a not like a GoFund or like a donation like, for
t-shirt.
him and like Dr. Russell. You know what I mean? Like they went through hell and they're like, you know, not old but older, and just the stuff that they had to put up with, the traveling, the time, the waiting, the pressure by Hank. It's so heartbreaking to watch these good people go through it.
Is
Okay,
it true that he got out of Canton? I'd heard he moved up out of there.
I don't know. He lost his
Oh.
wife, so maybe.
I can ask because he was in the water department, so I can ask somebody.
Hopefully.
I don't know if it's John. I think John knows him. I think John knows Lucky. But here's my idea is you get like if there could be like Lucky Locker and t-shirts, have him have the snowplow, you know, have the sort of number one, and then in the back, you know, have his finger up, number one plow driver, and then in the back have hashtag honesty, hashtag integrity, something like that would be so cool.
Yeah, Dennis is saying he did move. Okay, so he heard that.
There we go. And Dennis, you were saying no to something earlier. I don't know what no was.
There's no court tomorrow.
Oh, no court.
No court.
No, because it gets real hot in there, I guess. And they said when the fan's on, the AC's on, you can't really hear the people, especially if they don't talk loud. I don't know. That's just what I was hearing. I don't know if it's an excuse because Bev just wanted her, you know, beach day. But
yeah, if only you had like PA system, you know, like sound systems, like microphones and kind of cool things like that.
Where it's kind of important. It's somebody's life. You would think that they have that.
Well, if only
$400,000
on Hank,
you know, no, on the
aperture.
Yeah, but
you
can't get a fan in there, like, you know.
No, can't, or a microphone that works better. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, they haven't invented anything that amplifies someone's voice. You know, like an electronic device where you could sort of speak into it and it amplify that. If that were invented, then we could probably hear over the fans. So, you know, Marconi, you know, who invented the radio, maybe he'll now invent it, you know, the microphone. So anyway,
who's next though? Does anybody know who's next? No,
I think they were talking about, I mean, obviously I think Arca is up. But there was another, I'm trying to think, because I mean, they haven't officially said, but we're dwindling. I mean, if it's coming up on Tuesday, like they think that they're going to be able to rest on Tuesday, or
that's so soon.
I know.
It's like, who else has they got? Like Agar?
3 days.
Oh my god,
it's 3 business days away. Like,
I'm
seriously.
scared. I'm not scared. I'm excited, but it's just like, I want it to end, but I want it to end with a not guilty, like within an hour, like no ifs, ands, or buts.
Okay.
The only way that it won't is if they've already done something with the jury, you know.
Yodel, hee-hoo, Swiss Miss is here, so I had to do my best to yodel. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So Amy's saying Garrett Wing.
Oh yeah.
Laminate.
I don't know who Laminate is. Will
and Arca. I think that's the one I'm thinking of, and I forget what it was that they did.
I'm all for laminate flooring though, because the wood flooring is it's too expensive. Like I can't afford it. So anyway, LVP all the way. Maybe you guys would like to share who you thought the most impactful witness. So maybe you could tee that up, Bea, and then we'll go Brandy.
I think for sure Officer Barrows for me. I think he had La Posada, the ME is who she meant.
Independent ME?
Yes,
or
yes.
State ME?
Okay. I think it's independent.
Oh.
Yes, you're right. It's that lady who also testified in the Penny McGee trial. Correct. Okay, so I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but I would say Officer Barrows for me. He had no skin in the game. He was not part of the city of the town of Canton.
Call from.
The hello.
Oh, hey,
To
Val.
accept, press 1. To send a
Val, good evening. You're on the air with myself, Bea, and Brandy.
Hi.
Hi, Val.
Hey, everyone.
How are you?
I am. Well, I'm calling because I have a concern about some of the news from this week, and I wanted to go to the crowd and see what everyone thinks.
Please.
And that is it's been very encouraging that the participation of the FBI investigation is kind of leaking into the around the edges between people when they're not supposed to, like that really unpleasant young woman, and just little bits here and it's very exciting and it's really good news. But it occurred to me the other day, I'm excited about it because I know investigation, but what if the jurors it was an investigation of Karen and that the state ended up prosecuting Karen in FBI. Do you know what I mean? Like,
It's a really good point. They could interpret
like the FBI
it completely
stuff about
differently.
Karen and handed it over.
Yeah. Yep. They could interpret that completely 180 degrees from what has happened in actuality. Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. I mean, do people have counter, or am I misunderstanding? Maybe. I mean, maybe it's not a concern.
My personal opinion is I don't think they should have. Well, obviously they shouldn't have hidden that, try to hide that from the jury to begin with, because it's a statement of fact. But Bev wouldn't allow it in. I don't think it would have been as impactful, and I don't think it'll be as impactful now. And the reason that I believe that is because they don't have any context to understand it. They don't know, unless they've researched the trial as all of us have. They're not going to know the context under which the FBI had involvement in this, and that they've paid
Well, do you
ARCA.
think they know about the planting of the taillight by now? I mean, they got it, right? So if they're investigating the investigation, well, I don't know if they would, I don't
If
know.
they believe Nicholas Barros Campollo,
Mhm.
then the other, if you believe him, then the trial should be over.
Yeah.
That's the thing, because they know that they seized the car. They know that they took the car to Canton. And the last time they went through great lengths, right, Val, Val, you still there? Yeah. Make sure she's still there. Okay. Last time they went to great lengths to say, why did you pass this state police sally port? And why did you then not go to that state police sally port? And then actually there was a third closer state police sally port. And why didn't you go to those? And so I don't know that they went to that, because I haven't been watching the trial for cause, because Hank drives me crazy and I might want to hurt myself by listening to him.
Okay.
I might want to jump off like a not too tall of a building because I want to survive. So anyway, so anyway, yeah, that's my thought.
DJ.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
DJ, four floors is terminal. So only jump from the third floor.
No.
Thank you. I will try not
Just
to
turn the TV off.
She works in personal injury cases. Thank you, Val. Please continue on with what Val's point. The impact that the mentioning around the periphery of the FBI may or may not have.
I mean,
Hi,
I
Joe.
don't necessarily think that they're going to think that the FBI handed the state a case to try, because I think if we all know the FBI, they're independent from the state. So I don't know if they would make that like, I don't know if they would take that from that, because I feel like the FBI could have, I mean, we kind of know that they don't go after state cases, they go after corruption cases. So, I don't know if they would make, I mean, I know that it's now, I mean, the Officer Dever, brought up, right? I wasn't going to
Deaver. I'm
mispronounce
never
it.
going to call her Dever. I'm going to call her Deaver just because.
She's a diva.
Yeah.
Right.
Because-
Exactly.
Like you had to be,
FBI.
you had to have that attitude just because you said that. That just makes you so much worse.
She was awful, awful. Anyways, that I digress. But
I want to know
I
who
think
they think the agents are. That they
right, but
keep
she
mentioning.
actually said
She
FBI.
said,
So
yeah, she said I
she's
called
the
the
first
FBI.
one to say
Yeah.
the words FBI.
I hope they
So
put that together then as they're the other law enforcement agency.
right, agents.
Yeah, agents. Gotta
No,
hope.
they kept focusing on that.
Do
So
you guys sense an impact? Do you feel like
I
there'll
think.
be an impact on the jury?
I mean, I think they must think that this is bigger, and I think it's already been brought that there's a lot of media attention to this. So I think that it's just highlighting that this is such a big deal, and the fact that we're on a second trial has already been brought up. And even Hank has messed up and said second trial in the previous trial.
Yeah.
So I
We have
definitely
another caller. I'm gonna have to tell the other person I'm not gonna be able. If you're listening right now, caller, we still have Val on the line, but after Val's done, we will get you in here from Mount Airy, North Carolina. So
yeah. So anyways, to summarize, I think
Bea,
yeah.
what I was just going to say is a slight counter to that.
Okay.
It's very common for the feds to do an investigation, arrest the corrupt people. Like, I think this is what happened with that CDL license case, if you guys
Yeah.
remember that.
Mm-hmm.
2 years ago now.
Yep.
The feds do all the work, and then they hand them over to the state AG usually, and they just leave the state to, do all the charging and all that. Like, and I don't know if I'm like a true crime junkie, so maybe that's why I know that. Like, I don't know if that would be common knowledge among jurors.
Right. And I think once they're also, now don't forget, ARCA, we have ARCA in our back pocket. They're going to come in and say that another agency, and hopefully this time they clarify it was not Karen's insurance company, and make it very clear to them it was this other agency that hired them. And the information they're going to be able to get from ARCA, I mean, they have to be able to piece this together so much better this time. And I'm very, very
Hope so.
confident that she will be found not guilty.
Yeah, me too. I think this trial is going a lot better.
how about you, Val?
Okay. Well, that's reassuring. I mean, I think that the ARCA is the clean. I have ongoing concerns, or maybe it's like a slight PTSD because of the wacky things that the jury came up with last time.
Yes.
It's very hard to stay from that.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing, Val, is what judicial standard will be applied to somebody like Tully coming in saying, I heard juror number 6 over there was in a bar last night talking about the case.
Yep.
And then Judge Bev, without any evidence of that or without any other corroborating witnesses, just kicked that potentially, likely pro Karen-Reed juror out of the deliberations and out of the 12.
Yeah.
What's the judicial standard for that? Can anybody just make an allegation?
Well, no. I think I saw a stream where Andrea Burkhart was on Brother Counsel's stream, and it was right after that came to light, and they were both talking about it, and they both agreed that was a very I can't think of the word I want, optimistic avenue for appeal. So no, it's not supposed to go like that. I mean, there's actually rules. I think Andrea may have cited them. There are rules about how you handle situations like that, and they don't include believing third-hand hearsay from essentially one of the parties in the case, right? There's a bunch of cops
Right.
alleging this. And then questioning the juror, and her response supposedly was, I don't know, which Bev took as, yes, I did spout off about the trial in the middle of a bar with a bunch of cops around.
The juror said, "I don't know."
Well, it is part of I'm trying to think of where it was. I mean, someone printed out it may have been the juror herself that related what she said. But what I think happened is they grabbed her, they brought her up to the bench there, and Bev said, "We have reports that you were talking about the case to people," and I don't remember the details, but I think it was just she was supposedly, I don't know, bragging about it or something anyway, and that you overheard. And we have other reports that back that up. So it was the initial report, the report that bizarrely went to Tully, even no one knew he was in charge of the, what do they call it? The extraordinary security or whatever the hell it was of the court. And the juror, the juror said, like, she was just kind of like dumbfounded. She didn't know what to say. I mean, I think she said no at one point, but then they pressed her on it and she just said, I don't know, because it had happened like at least a month earlier, right? This wasn't like the next day that this got reported. And I think she just kind of panicked, like we were just talking about, like when the police come up to you at the rallies and stuff, and they're yelling at you and they're being all intimidating, and they've got their guns and the badge and the shades and all that stuff. Is she didn't really know what to say besides I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
And by the way,
that's my take on it.
Thank you. That was a wonderful take. And I just want to let everybody know the voice you're hearing there is our friend, prior guest, and the official attorney of Calling All Beings, Valhalla Law, retired Massachusetts attorney, with a very learned opinion. So thank you for that Val. And so I can see what you're saying. It was a little bit of intimidation, and the judge being on their side. It was part and parcel of it. So yeah, that's very interesting that happened. And it's very sad because they may pull the same trick. Let me ask you guys something else. And here she is. We'll get our friend in here, and then we'll go ahead and I want to ask you guys about the Albert factor and if they're going to show up in the courtroom, so you can think about your answer. Right here is the sister of the slain young man, mentally ill young man, who's part of the justice movement here and who will be part of the Stronger Together Standout. So party people, put him together for the warrior, the one and only Jen Road. Yeah.
Hi, Jen.
What's going on? What's up?
I missed your face.
Guys. What's up, DJ?
How you doing?
B
Now it's a party.
Hey.
and BB. Hey, there's a lot of BBs going on over there. Boston Bay and Boston Brandy.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Valhalla Law
not
is on the
again.
line.
Boston Bea.
Yeah.
Boston Bay, yeah. No, but I mean, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valhalla Law is on the line. Real quickly, before we get into Stronger Together, will Brian Albert or will the Alberts show up in the courtroom as a show of force, starting with Bea?
Okay, so I'm going to say if they are not called to the stand, the jurors are not even going to know who they are. So my answer, so if they're not called to testify, they can show up, but they're not going to know. The jurors aren't going to know. So I say it's a 50-50.
Brandy.
Leaning more towards no.
I think it's 100% no. I don't think they would dare show their faces again. I think they know what they did now in hindsight was a very bad move, because when you're on camera and people can analyze you in like, every blink you make and every swallow you make. And I don't think they'll do that again.
Okay. So we got somebody, the grifting gamer wants to call in. So Val, we're going to get your take and then we'll let you go so we can get one more call in. Val, what's your thoughts? Do you believe that the Alberts are going to show up in court?
No, partially because remember last time after Jen testified, she started showing up in court, and I don't know, various other shirt tail McAlberts. And I really take Bea's point that it would be to no purpose, right? Like they won't be able to intimidate the jury, so it would be a wasted effort. So, yep, that's my thing.
What do you think, Jen? Do you think the Alberts will show up in court?
No, because they're on the list as possible, people who
Defense witnesses.
called, so you wouldn't want to. Yeah, I don't think so. No.
But once the defense has rested, there's nothing holding them. That means that they didn't get called. So there's nothing really holding them back from being able to come in. I just don't think it's going to have the same effect, because if they didn't testify, then the jurors don't know what their fate, like who they are.
In theory. In theory. Yeah.
In theory.
All right.
Yeah, they're going to show their face. I mean,
let them.
Okay. Val, thank you very much for calling in and contributing, and an awesome contribution it was. And if Grifting Gamer wants to call in, you'll be able to get in now. Thanks. Bye, Val.
Bye, Val.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Thank
bye.
you so much.
Everyone have a good night.
Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, Grifting Gamer, if you want to call in, because that I don't know if you were the North Carolina number. The phone line is open. So just give me 1 second here.
Ring, ring.
719-602-4464.
There you go. Okay. Okay. Okay, hang on a
Call
second.
from
Steve.
All right.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Steve. Can you hear me, sir? Oh, something didn't work. Let me try this again. Steve.
Hey there.
Hey, Steve, you're live on the air with Calling All Beings.
Hey, thanks for having me. I kind of just couldn't help myself but chime in.
Sure, please.
So I've been a volunteer firefighter and EMT for close to 20 years, and I got into law enforcement about 5 years ago. And I know I might be preaching to the choir here, but the level of integrity and honesty that Sergeant Barrow showed, I mean, every cop in America, if you look at the facts of this case, how evidence was collected, how there was no chain of custody, how 47 pieces revealed themselves, every cop that you show these facts to knows what happened here. I mean, it's obvious. Either they thought she was guilty and they wanted to improve their case, or they needed to take the heat off of Albert and Higgins. Either way, I just couldn't help but call in because it almost brought a tear to my eye watching him go on the stand and actually be very clear and concise that was not the way the tail light was.
Right, exactly. I agree.
If anybody wants, I just want to say, Steve, it's an honor that you called in.
Yes.
I want to thank you for you serving as both a firefighter, EMT, and now law enforcement officer, because we have so much respect for those of you who take the oath of, I'd say the oath of office. You'd have to tell me what the actual technical term of it is, but that oath seriously to protect,
Serve and protect, right?
serve and protect, right? And do so in an honest manner. Whereas a lot of these people think, like you could see from when Deaver was on the stand, I don't care how she pronounces her name, is that they think it's a license to be able to do bad things and get away with it because you have cover. And what are you doing there, Brandy? Brandy,
I was just coughing and my pitches are falling off the walls. It's okay.
I love it because
don't mind me.
We never know what's going on with you. By the way, if you're going to give out dental advice before the end of the show about white teeth, we'll be able to get into that.
No.
But thank you, Steve. Steve still on the line?
Steve, yes. Go ahead, please, for Steve.
No, but thank you for pointing that out. I mean, I feel so validated what we've been saying over and over, and it's nice to just hear it from another voice, another law enforcement officer. So kudos to you for speaking up and just saying that you too see it, and we're not going crazy over here in Massachusetts. So thank you.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah. Anybody else?
You're very welcome.
Yes.
I thought I was going crazy when I looked at the facts of that case. I came into it thinking she was guilty, mind you. And I heard about the case a couple times, and I kind of dismissed it like, crazy. Because a lot of people don't understand most cops' girlfriends and wives, not to stereotype too much, but there is some crazy there. There's some like Badge Bunny kind of stuff there. So at first I'm like, okay, typical, like some kind of nurse psycho or something like that, right? Like completely misjudged the situation.
Mhm.
And, when you actually look at the facts and the evidence and how law enforcement in Norfolk County, I guess it's a district attorney
Yes.
investigative division.
Yes, those troopers
They
are
all look
embedded
crooked
in
to
the
me.
DA's office. And by the way, they've contributed
It's
to his
the-
political campaign, beside the point.
Mm.
They absolutely look like that entire department is very crooked. And I don't know
is.
what the citizens of Massachusetts or Norfolk County can do about it, really, if the feds don't come in or the state doesn't come in. Because for it to be state troopers in that office, that's a whole nother bag of worms. I don't know how to really explore that. But to me, it's very obvious that they are very much crooked. And then I saw the Birchmore case as well, and some of the other cases that you guys are familiar with. And I'm like, man, what is going on there? Like, I thought we had it bad here sometimes, but Norfolk County does not look very good.
They've
And
perfected
what
it.
state are you in, Steve?
North Carolina.
Oh, North Carolina. Okay. Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah. And one thing I wanted to say to you when you were saying maybe initially they thought that she was guilty and then they decided to cover it up. I'll tell you how you know that they thought that she wasn't guilty. And that's because Trooper Proctor said to his friends in the text messages, they said, "Hey, what about the homeowner?" He goes, "Oh, he's a Boston cop too. He ain't going to catch any shit for this." And the fact that the Albert's younger kid, Chris Albert's younger kid, Colin, was the ring bearer in Michael Proctor's sister's wedding. So they were both in the same wedding party. He made it like he didn't know them. And it turned out they found Facebook messages that they say the Alberts and the Proctors consider themselves second families.
Right.
So Proctor didn't think.
I don't mean
he
to
should-
butt in too much.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to butt in too much, so you let me know if I am.
Please do.
But from my understanding, with the first trial or some of the motion hearings or whatever, that Colin Albert has a history with being aggressive towards John O'Keefe.
Correct.
Is that correct? Has
That's
that come out at all in the second trial?
No.
No, because he wasn't allowed to be implicated as a third party culprit, so he never testified.
Yes.
And there is some rumors that Colin may have been into some illegal stuff, that John O'Keefe may have made phone calls and was trying to look into it.
I think he was looking into Colin and Kevin.
And
Yeah.
you being from the South also, will understand if you had a son that was a teenager and a police officer came over and said to you, "This kid flipped me the bird. Your son flipped me the bird or flipped me the double bird." I assume that there would be an ass whooping or a switch or something taken to that kid's backside. Colin did this with John O'Keefe, and Chris Albert just kind of blew it off and laughed it off, because constantly you see them taking photos where the family as a family are flipping the bird. So you're looking at classless FU type people. And that's when you get a kid that would get involved in potentially a fight with a police officer that he had no business putting his hands unprovoked. He had no business putting his hands on John O'Keefe under any circumstances that's unprovoked. But clearly his knuckles were pretty beat up after that night.
Right.
Well, that's part of what doesn't make sense here, because Brian Albert is was part of Boston Police, same as John O'Keefe. And I know it's a big agency. I'm part of like a very small agency, but I could not imagine, a kid or a nephew, someone in my bloodline, so to speak, disrespecting a neighbor or a fellow police officer and his home and his yard and doing things like, I've heard flipping the bird or throwing beer cans or whatever the case may be. It's kind of unimaginable that, the family wouldn't do something about that, just to at least save face. So I don't know what the deal is there.
Because the mother and father are doing the
Playing
same
with
thing.
rumors and stuff.
They
Well,
think
that's
they're
kind of where I'm
untouchable.
thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Brian Albert never grew up, and he's unbecoming of his badge and his years of experience.
Oh, I mean, if you listen to, former special agent from who went to high school in Canton, Sean McDonough, he will tell you that Brian Albert has assaulted other officers. He's assaulted guys on his own team. If they didn't give him a envelope at Christmas full of cash, they didn't get overtime. So I don't know how much money they had to give, but Christmas cards had to have some money in it. He assaulted a fireman in Boston and put him in the hospital, hit him over the head with a beer bottle. Had to go for alcohol rehab after that. That was his punishment. But the context that you might understand this is that the reason that Chris Alberts on Column did something like this is they see themselves as elite. They see us as the commoners, and they are sort of like the avant-garde of Canton. So, like even in South in a small town, you'll have that small town, and maybe there's that one powerful family. That could be a sheriff's son in some cases. That could just be a family, a very wealthy person in a small town, and they will have a tendency to get away with more. And that's kind of what this is in Canton with the Albert family. Remember, there's 9 children. Brian is the eldest of 9 children. He was known as the town champ, the heavyweight champ, title holder of the town for beating people up. So that may give you, I don't know if that gives you any context or not.
It gives some context, and it's obvious that he feels untouchable. And usually, if you're a cop, you don't necessarily feel untouchable unless someone higher up somewhere has your back. So I don't know the personal relationships with the DA or Boston police, upper brass, or anything like that. But
Maura Healey.
I guess, it makes sense what you're saying. It makes total sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's, call back. We'd love to have you on for the hour. So if you will, I can text you after this, and we could set something up and you can come on for the hour. How does that sound?
That sounds awesome. Thank you.
Thank you very
Yes,
much.
thank-
And we're,
Look forward
go ahead,
to
Bea. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Bea. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just saying thank you, Steve, for calling in, and we'd love to hear from you again and further discuss this.
All right, Steve. We'll let you go now, and I'll text you, and we'll set something up because you coming on here. We had another North Carolina state trooper come on. Actually, he was in the chat. He spent an entire episode in the chat and was very verbose with his comments, which we really needed. And we just
it means a lot when other cops call. It
really does.
It does.
It really does.
It's a lot. We appreciate it.
All right, I'll be in touch. All right, Steve.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Look
Bye,
forward
Steve.
to it.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Bye. All right, that was Steve from North Carolina, EMT, fire, and now he's a policeman. And now we're bringing on the legend. We're talking about Jen Root. Can somebody give me an amen for Jen Root?
Amen.
Yeah, man, come on. You guys are going to have to do better than that.
All right, amen.
Jen Root, yes. All right, so this is...
Amen for everyone.
Thank you so much, Jen. This is the Stronger Together Standout 2. Let me remove that logo out of there. 2.0. That should go away. There we go. Stronger Together Standout 2.0. Call to action to end the corruption at the Norfolk DA's office Thursday, June 12th, 2 through 4 p.m. Join us at the Norfolk DA's office, 45. It should say Sham Road, but it says Shawmut Road in Canton. Sham Road. Jen, talk to us.
Yeah. So I've been working together with Mizzy and Deanna Corby and, getting another Stronger Together Standout together, for us to collaborate. And, right now, I'm definitely laser focused on Karen Reed's trial, and I can't seem to get away. I have it in my earbud wherever I'm going. My kids are like, "Is that the Karen Reed trial?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." But at the same time, it's also really important for us to all come together and put pressure on the Norfolk District Attorney's Office. So our call to action is that we want him to resign. So we're going to have signs that say, resign, because this momentum needs to keep up. And as Karen's trial is wrapping up now, we need to amp up and make sure that these people know we're not going anywhere and it's not okay.
Right.
And for, some of your listeners who might not really know much about my brother's case, but Juston, was killed in Norfolk County, and they did a 30-day investigation. I wouldn't even call it an investigation. Okay. Investigation. And then you look at, and it was by officers. So anytime there's been an officer involved with a death, it looks like the Norfolk District Attorney's Office looks the other way. And you can see that with Sandra Birchmore's, which was February 4th, 2021. And then you fast forward to Officer John O'Keefe. That was January 29th, 2022. And that was in a span of 24 months. So we have an opportunity to really drive this home, because some people think, oh, that's just that case. And it's like, no, it's not. And the more people that can get educated about this, I want you to know that we're a very welcoming community. We'll have lots of extra signs. And, we'll probably march around that building.
Like we did last time, right?
Oh, yeah. Girlfriend.
With that bullhorn.
Yep, bullhorn. I mean, I might just have to roll out that speaker.
We have to get loud.
It's that's kind of where we're at. We want to just keep this momentum going and let the Norfolk District Attorney's Office know that it's way beyond unacceptable. I mean, it's just so blatant. I still can't eat. I mean, the arrogance and the it's like they just think they're untouchable, literally. And so people power, we do have the power with, all of us coming together and making sure that our voices are heard. And obviously, when it comes to election time, we need to make that even louder. I do, just as another side note, I have talked with another impacted family member, and that means that their loved one was killed by someone in law enforcement, that we want to try to get it on the ballot here in Massachusetts, that these are independently investigated anytime there's an officer involved with that.
Yes.
So that's going to be coming down the line. I have some meetings scheduled. So that's what we would like to do, is really just start to move in that direction. But yes, we are excited. Next Thursday, everyone, next Thursday, come on down. Even if you can come for 30 minutes, an hour. And if you can't come and you're in another state, share it everywhere. I think that the more we can get this out, the better. And, even if someone can't make it this time, you can make it another time, because we're definitely going to keep having these. And everybody there.
I just want, hi, Lady Zelda. Welcome back. She was our guest a couple of weeks ago and will be our guest again soon. She was amazing. I want to just talk real quickly about, I want to make another analogy. It's the Air Force Office of Special Investigations. So these guys and gals are basically like the FBI of the Air Force. And so they watch over fraud, waste, abuse, any kind of crime against service members or by service members against the government. So we got a briefing from those guys about a week ago. And they even talked about how they arrested one of their own members. So Air Force members, when we do something wrong, or even Space Force members, because we OSI, Space Force, we're under the Department of the Air Force. So OSI would look over both of us. We would be terrified. If OSI ever calls you, you would be terrified. If you did something, they're not going to back you up. They're not going to cover for you.
Right.
They're going to investigate you.
And
if a security policeman on base shot somebody, they're going to investigate that case and find out what and why this person discharged their weapon or hurt somebody. Or it could be rape. It could be anything like that. They would, they are going to go and investigate. And if anybody commits a crime against a service member, they're going to investigate them. But most importantly, we don't view them as top cover. And the problem is that these law enforcement officers know that they have cover. They got cover when they killed Juston. They got cover when that guy literally murdered Sandra Birchmore. And now they have cover when you have a guy lying that his boss should have said, dumbass, you didn't tell us you're friends with the Alberts and you're the lead investigator. Are you kidding me?
Like they're literally
are you
shooting
kidding me
people
right now?
in broad daylight. They're shooting young men in broad daylight.
Yeah.
They're strangling pregnant women and walking out the front door, being recorded on camera. And they're leaving dead bodies on their own property, out in the front of their property. They're doing it anyway, anytime, any means. They're just killing people. And we have to sit back and wait for an election. We have to sit back and wait for someone to decide to change things. Like we're all out there, but we need more people. We need power in numbers, because 20 of us, 30 of us, we're not going to get change. And if you don't want to become a victim, and if you're sick of seeing this, you need to get people. And I understand people have bills and they have jobs, but if you know someone, say, get your ass down there. Be there for me. Get down there if you can, because this is important. This is more important than a lot of other things that you think are important. It's scary. It really is. And it's like
500 of us showed up on Thursday. Okay, we'll put like 500.
I was wondering about the Attorney General of the United States, like if that individual has been approached.
I mean, I know there's like letters sent, there's been letters sent, there's been emails sent, there's been phone calls made, there's been voicemails made, there's been people that go to the state house with signs. I mean, we're doing everything we possibly can in multiple, like we're following up and stuff, but it's like, they have the power to ignore it. They have the power to not do anything. And it's like, what do we do? Where do we go from here? Like people who are listening that are higher up and need to tell us, because we'll do it.
Yeah. That's why I was just thinking of the Attorney General of the United States, because, obviously the state Attorney General doesn't care. Or if they do know about it and there is an investigation going on, then maybe that's something that's happening. And we just don't know it, so they're being quiet about it, so that these idiots will keep doing the things that they're doing, so they can just build evidence so that it's irrefutable. With that, we have more to say, but we're going to have to save it for later, as Eddie Vedder is playing right here on the guitar. Oh, I know Jen Root likes the song.
That music. It's like we're just going to cruise right into the evening.
Stronger Together, next Thursday, June 12th, 2 to 4 p.m. Join us, Norfolk DA. Office 45 Shawmut Road, Canton, Massachusetts. Come join these ladies, Sandra, Karen, Officer John O'Keefe, just en route, and of course the latest loss we've had, Trooper Enrique Delgado Garcia. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you guys. Great job tonight.
Bye.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
On behalf of Bea, Brandy, and Jen, this is DJ saying peace out, one love. We will see you down
Next
the road.
time.